the very best players, the milestones don't mean much because they just want to bat. They just want to bat. So my first thought is, why is making 50 so important to you?
I guess it's a milestone for success, like 50 or 100.
Okay, so what does that mean? What does it mean? Like, does it mean you get applauded, like, and you get some extra self-worth, or what is it? Like, it's a milestone, you're right. And cricket all around the world acknowledges 50s and 100s, and it's the sort of the number that we all strive for. But I want to go deeper than that. Like, what does it mean? Like, what does scoring a 50? Does it give you validation? Does it mean you're a good player? Like, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, it gives me validation. That's
who gives you the validation?
I give myself the validation.
Why do you need 50 to give yourself that?
That's a good point.
Because to me, you're putting so much importance on that number. And if you step away from the history of cricket and you say, like, I want to make a 50 compared to a 46, or I've made a 37 and I started thinking about a number in the future and it took my attention away. It's a bit of a silly thing that we all get so caught up in. And I think that there's so many lessons we can all take from the world's best players. And even though they're sort of a long way away from all of us, really, but they're not actually that far away from us in many respects, that the very best players, the milestones don't mean much because they just want to bat. They just want to bat. So they get a 50, they raise their bat a little bit. They get 100, they raise their bat, they celebrate, but they're not like, I've done it, I'm going to get out now. They go, hang on a minute, there's still 4 days of cricket to go, I'm going to keep batting. Or there's still 24 overs to go, I'm going to keep batting. So the first thing I'd like to do is try and break down this importance of a 50, of like a 50, because I think so many people have you done it before or not done it this level, or like why is it important?
Yeah, I've definitely done it before. But yeah, I guess it's important because I think that if I do 50s and if I do 100s, I've never done 100, I've made it to 82, then I'm considered a good batter.
By who?
By who? By myself.
So do you, because my question is, like, do the opposition look at your highest score and go, wow, their number 4 scored 110 once, we got to be careful of him? Or do they look at the score and go, oh, Saeed scored a 57 last week, we got to be careful? Like, who is giving you the validation or this credit? Or
yeah, well, I guess part of it is to just like, I enter the sport obviously to have fun. That's the number one factor, but I also want to get better. And so sort of for me, a metric of success or metric of evidence that the work that I'm putting in is translating into results is sort of the milestones that I'm hitting.
So 30, so is 37 off 22, is that progress? Is that better than you used to do?
Yeah, definitely. And
So I the reason I'm digging you in this and trying to probe you on this is because if you can, you're so it's like this in life. Like, I think there's so many things in life, and I'm probably telling you things you already know, but when we're so desperate to do something, it sits on the top of this mountain, and this mountain is fucking hard to climb. But when we just say, I'm not going to look up there anymore, I'm just going to take one step at a time, and I'm just going to enjoy my steps, and we just literally forget about what's at the top of the mountain, we just enjoy climbing a mountain, we actually get to our destination. Are you sick of failing over and over again? Do you want to perform at your best more consistently? The Cricket Mentoring Community is for you. Join an online community of like-minded players, coaches and parents all over the world and become a better, more confident cricketer today. Do you want someone to ask questions and to guide you and to help you become your best? Well, the Cricket Mentoring Community is here to help you. It doesn't matter where in the world you live or where you're at with your game right now. All that matters is your hunger to learn and get better. So, if you're dedicated to your cricket, you're sick of underperforming, or you want to be the cricketer you know you're capable of being, the Cricket Mentoring Community is for you. I look forward to seeing you inside, legend.
Just making sure that you get your game in order. That gives you every chance to play well.
Yeah.
So what I want you to try and do is let go of this desperation to score a 50 or 100 and say, I'm just going to bat. And whatever the situation, like there's probably been days where you've got 26 not out and the team wins and there's no more runs to chase and you walk off, you've won, you're happy. But that could have been a day you got 50. There's a lot that needs to go right for you. There needs to be, you either bat first and you lose wickets early, so you've got enough time. You bat second, there's a big enough score. You need the wicket to be decent. You need sort of the umpiring decisions to go your way, because at times they won't. Like, there's so many things out of your control that I think, like, this obsession with scoring a certain number, where I want to try and release, because then you'll just bat like all the great players, and then you'll get to a 50 and you'll be like, oh wow. Because one thing I can probably assure you, and I'd love to be able to say told you so, but one thing I can probably assure you is when you get that 50, the following day you might wake up feeling pretty good about yourself or whatever, but a day later there's probably no difference in your life. You probably don't have an emptiness that's now been filled. Like maybe getting 100 is different because you've never done it. It might just give you that reward that you crave, but it's not as life-changing as you may have started to think it is, because you're still the same bloke, still the same player. I remember when I got sort of first grade hundreds, and it's so euphoric and you're so happy in the evening after doing it, whatever. And you're sort of like, oh, this feeling's just going to stay with me. And then by Monday morning, you still go to work and no one gives a shit. And like by the following week, you get a duck and everyone's forgotten about the previous week. No one cares that you got 100 a week ago.
Yeah.
So I would say, listening to you speak, like the main sort of starting point is trying to refocus your attention on just batting for as long as you can to do what the team needs to win, and enjoying just batting without the need for a 50. Because if you continue that, well, then as soon as you get close, you'll start to go to the, oh, I'm nearly there. And it just becomes so much harder.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Well, what are your thoughts on all that?
Well, that makes perfect sense, actually. And I think the part about keeping focus, and this is what I tell the team, which is coming straight out of our last session, which has really helped, by the way, the squad refocus its energy, is to try to have a good time while you're batting. And, even when I look at my 11 ball one, I can say that the thing that I regretted most about that was that I wasn't able to do longer what I was doing, because I was having a very good time. And I could tell that had I kept focus on just staying on the pitch longer, I probably would have, scored, and I was having no difficulty really playing the ball that day.
Awesome.